stand, if you could stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to number 3, do we have anything to amend on the agenda? If you had time to take a look at it, we need a motion to approve the agenda if there's no changes.
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to number 4, interviews, alderman interviews if needed. Do we have anybody for alderman interviews? No?
You don't want to be?
Okay. Moving on to number 5, approve minutes of January 4th, 2024 meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of January 4th, 2024.
I'll second
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
it.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to number 6, public input. Do you have any public input? Okay.
Is
Number
this where to say a few words?
Yeah, if you have anything.
Yeah, just basically, my name is Tom Van Royen, and our residence is on Lee Drive on the east side. And I'm just looking at the leadership and the group here. This is something I may pursue depending on how much turnover is in people here, that I would like to give back to the community if that's something that comes to be. So time will tell.
Excellent.
Ask questions away.
What's that?
Ask away.
Well, I may, like you said, I just took names down and then I
Yeah.
can visit with people, you know, when it's the right time.
Welcome to the city, Tom.
But appreciate it.
Nice going.
Any other public input? All right, if not, moving on to city logo discussion. It's gonna, Julia's deal. She is running behind due to troubles getting here on time, so,
We can probably still discuss it though. I can take over a little bit.
yeah, that'd be fine.
We all got the email that showed the couple different options, and I think she was just speaking with Dave and had asked about if there was anything to put on the website, was kind of what direction we wanted to go to. And all that is the current, picture that's on our letterhead and everything that we send out in that aspect. So just kind of wanting to talk about, do we want to actually have a logo to put on everything, or are any of those that she kind of created an option, or kind of collectively, what was everybody's thoughts? I don't really know if this has been discussed before or where it came to be to have that particular image that we currently have.
She had asked me after the website discussion, and I just told her, I said, all I know is what we have on top of the letterhead that was done prior to me coming into this position. But as far as like an official logo, I'm not aware of anything. So that's where this kind of came out.
Yeah, the letterhead logo's been around forever,
It could change.
as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be nice to have a little bit of an update, just the direction that the city is going, and kind of just changing things and updating things. I don't think it would hurt to necessarily have a rebrand of everything, but we can definitely wait till she gets here, but I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that she'll say.
Well, would you like to
Personally,
wait
I
or
like
would you
number
to-
2. I said personally, I like number 2. I think it's very simple, easy, would be easy to print on anything. In black and white, it would be easy to, for graphic designer to put on anything. Screen print on anything in the future, it's just really simple. Sometimes with like the edges of the suns and screen printing, if it were needed to be, or printed on certain things, you might just get pushed back, but.
period
That's
of
a
time.
possibility too.
I mean, we don't have to make a decision on this evening, it's something that we're going to do it, we should do it sooner than later, means we have that new website.
I do like the water tower,
Yep.
and that's just from personal experience. My grandkids come from far away, and they identify this town by the water tower. They say, there's your water tower, there's your water tower.
When I first moved here, that's how I knew how far away it
Yeah,
was.
so I just think the water tower on something.
Well, table it for right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine.
Moving on to number 8.
So there's forward motion on it, can we put it to the city to see if there's any submissions or any
If
interest?
you would like, we could do it that way.
No, sorry, just so that we have not action on here, but just so that we can do something, so we don't table it and then next time decide to put it to the city. So, just sort of-
Yep.
Ken, is that something you feel like you can do? Perfect.
See what kind of feedback we get, if we don't get any feedback, we'll have to make a decision on our end of that to move forward.
Perfect.
Any other discussion in regards to number 7? If not, we're going to move on to number 8, Elsister Hudson Prom donation request. A while back, I think this was on the agenda, and we were going to look into it, so if you'd like to make a request, donation,
Have you noticed, David, what we've given in the past?
I couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was gonna ask you.
I cannot find anything in my notes from last year.
I know we have, but I just can't.
So I don't know if it was like an in-kind donation, gift cards from the clubhouse or something along that lines.
No, I feel like there was a monetary value.
There was, I think it was in the budget.
Yeah, I'm almost positive I saw. I have to,
Because there's
for
one
some
item
reason,
for
500 is
donations.
in my brain, but.
There's one that mentioned the fairgrounds in the budget, or the fair, but it didn't specify the prom. Because that one was
I
1,000.
think it said booster. When was the decision meeting, by April? That letter you had, right? They asked for when?
Prom is held April 13th, so it just need to be sometime in the next few months.
Okay, can we put it on the next agenda and I'll help look for the actual amount?
Sure we can.
And I, personally, I think they would go along with gift cards to the golf course, because they do
Just for
prizes.
after prom prizes?
Yeah, you know, so we could even do something like that if we don't find anything. You know, or maybe gift certificate deed there, you know. A lot of kids golf.
Oh yeah, student golf membership.
Well, would you
That's
like to do something
$60,
with that?
right? That's what you said, $60?
Is that correct?
Doesn't
I think
it?
that'd even be better than monetary donation.
Yeah,
Well, would you like to do something like that?
Could we do two, like a $60 gift card, or $60 golf
Membership.
membership, and then a $40 gift card to the clubhouse?
Should we do that?
yeah.
I like that idea better, just so they have something.
Yep, and then it
We'll give
keeps
that
it
to
in
the
town
city.
too.
Yeah.
This was getting less and less. I'll make a motion to give a $60 golf membership, student golf membership to the golf course, and a $40 gift card to the community center clubhouse for prom.
I have a motion and a second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to number 9, legal updates if needed. Austin, you have anything?
Don't have any. Jeff filling this and I talked a little bit about a few instances, so there will be some more letters going out, just for people that are non-compliant, but I haven't been able to surface other than what Sam spoke about the last meeting.
Anyone else have anything for legal updates, questions? If not, nothing else, Austin? Moving on to number 10, Community Center 2023 financial update. Dave, you wanna visit about that a little bit?
Yeah, we finally, were able to get the last of the deposits and everything entered into the books. And there's a profit and loss statement in there for you. On the back, page 2 at the bottom, you can show the year and net income of $82,060.07. Compare year over year.
That's
Major
good.
improvement.
Absolutely.
Major.
So yeah, just so everyone heard that, really clear, you know, we did come out at $82,060.07. So, just so everybody understands that. Anything else in regards to the financial update?
It will be something we're gonna have to talk about legally. The furnace is not working yet tonight. They called me later this afternoon and it still smells like sewer. I don't know, we have called them and they've come down. I think it's something wrong with it. From the building standpoint, I don't know. But they were down last week, all day, one day. And then they got that fixed, right, Gary?
Yeah.
That one night?
Well, last night I heard they had to recalibrate
The thermostats.
thermostats and they thought that'd take care of it, apparently.
I don't know, Kelsey sent me a text and she said, just so you know, the furnace is not working again. It smells like sewer.
Yeah.
So,
Anything else in regards to that?
Well, are we getting charged for every time they come down?
that,
I would assume so, because it's not covered under warranty.
I mean, the last time they came down was when they replaced that microchip for the unit above the kitchen, and we got charged for that because it was a part plus labor.
right.
So I would imagine that they'll, if they had to come down and work, they're gonna charge us for it.
But I think we have almost enough proof where you can say this has been an issue since this building's been built. You think we could go back at it or not? Well, it was 2 years now. Yeah. But we've had trouble numerous times.
2 years since we
Do we
opened it.
know
Or
specifically?
just a year? No.
Do we have any idea
No,
what specifically is wrong with it though? I mean,
Oh, they keep coming up with,
The last time they were down was a microchip in the rooftop unit that fried out. The microchip was not warranted, but the rest, they said the rest of it was under warranty.
Do we know that that hasn't tried again?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to them.
Because if it is, there's some definitely not right there, that would be the case, but it's gotta get figured out.
I always wonder, I mean, if it's a chip or something like that, that's not gonna work. The city's gonna be able to. I mean, if it's a structural issue, that was from the builders, it's a totally separate issue.
architect.
Correct.
Is it not turning on at all? Or is it just, the smell just the issue?
No, it's on, but it was, what was it, 50 in the, 50 degrees in the
Dining area.
dining area. The community part was 60 some. And there's another part, the kitchen was in the 60s.
Yeah, I didn't catch what they were,
Yeah.
they were doing, the dining areas.
It was all run on one unit.
No,
No, there's
The
three.
kitchen has one unit, the dining room and bar area is another unit. The bathrooms and the front rooms and the storerooms are a third unit, and then the community center has its own unit.
Well, I know when it gets, especially when it gets cold like this, like a lot, I've had it happen with mine where they'll run so hard that the flame sensor will get caked. And, it'll try to light. Sometimes if it's not super dirty, it'll eventually light and run for a while, and it'll kick out. And especially like with the weather we're having now, there's a lot of stuff that can affect how a burner runs.
Well, they're right in that wind from the.
Right, you know, and if it can't sense that pilot, it's not gonna tell it to kick on. So this weather really screws with all this stuff.
But there's been issues with even the air conditioner part and that that sewer smell. I don't know what that is.
Obviously, it's not vented properly or something.
Yeah.
Well, they say every time the furnace doesn't work, then they get the source.
And the air conditioner was every night at the same time,
Yeah.
about 8:30.
8:30 to 8:45, right in that area. Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's getting enough combustion here. Like, open the burner doors a little bit, see if it sucks more air, because that can cause a smell too. If it's not getting enough air, it's burning dirty, it's gonna stink like sewer.
Yeah.
You would think they'd know that.
We get told.
Yeah, you would.
So have they been called to come back down?
They were down, and then they were contacted, I talked to them on Saturday. And the guy, they had talked to the guy, and he had redone something with the thermostat from one up where he was at. So it had warmed up, but now this was just at 4 o'clock, she said.
So he can do something remotely and it warms up.
Yeah, isn't that odd?
The controls for the heat HVAC system are web-based, so you can go onto a dashboard and log in.
But then it wouldn't be any mechanical, sorry, I might be very on my league here, but how can you do something remotely to turn it up?
So you can adjust like the thermostat and the settings, because you can adjust like the relative humidity and the temperature settings and all that stuff on that web-based dashboard. But if that's not working, then if they'd have to come down, if it's not the dashboard or the controls, and they have to look at the actual unit, then they'd have to come down and physically look at the unit itself.
So did they tell them what they changed to make it work?
Again, I don't have Landon and Kelsey have been talking to the controls company.
Yeah. So I'll
So tell
touch
them
base
to
with
contact them
tomorrow.
again, there's nothing else we can do.
And I think too, we've discussed this final walkthrough, it's a year late. If we're gonna do something legally, we're gonna have to start acting soon. Because there's a lot of things that are
Well,
still
I think first of all, you need to find out what's the actual issue
with this.
with this. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's an actual structural issue, then yeah, we can potentially look at that. We gotta get a structural engineer or something like that to come in and look at it. We just need to figure out
What?
where the actual cause of the issue is.
Right. Okay,
I think that answers.
yeah, because we have a list of about 30 things that have really never been taken care of by the architect. So it's really not the construction people, that's how we understand it, right? That meaning it's the architect, and the architect firm is kind of dissolved, so that's what we're gonna find out. But I will make a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to SDCL 125-21 personnel.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. 6:20 PM. We are in.
We have everybody reading.
I don't know what size that is.
All right, we are out at 6:29 PM. Do we have anything else in regards to the clubhouse? If not, we're moving on to number 10C, the safe for the office up at the clubhouse. Earlier on, we had bought a smaller one that wasn't quite big enough for them to put their needs into it, so this is something a little bit bigger.
And then measure and verify, and this is,
Okay, I was just gonna
this is
ask
the size that they need, and it's at Home Depot, and they have one available in Sioux Falls.
I'll make a motion to purchase the safe for the clubhouse in the amount of $251.90.
We have a motion and a second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to number 10, wastewater treatment plant. 11A, motion to approve paying Banner Engineering invoice number 41,595 in the amount of $902.58 for services completed in December 2023.
I'll make a motion to pay Banner Engineering invoice 41,595 in the amount of $902.58 for services completed in December 2023.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 11B, motion to approve paying Banner Engineering invoice number 41,589 in the amount of $534 for facility plan amendment work.
I'll motion to approve paying Banner Engineering invoice 41,589 in the amount of $534 for facility plan amendment work.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to number 12, bar update.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll know since you were here when this all started. So we pay all these invoices and maybe you have record of it somewhere as well that I don't know about. Does anybody keep up with like all the payments that we pay them? Does it actually equate to what Tanya gives us for the total?
So there is a running balance book that gets updated, so I'll send these off, and Harley at CCOG helps keep track of all of that.
I was just curious. I was like, does anybody ever double
So
check
she'll
to make
send,
sure what we're?
when I get these invoices from Banner, they send them to me and Harley. And then when I get them approved, I get them, notify both of them that they're approved for payment. And then she kind of has an update, and there's a whole spreadsheet from the beginning of the project for what monies come in from all of our sources to what invoices will be paid.
Thank you. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. Moving on to number 12, bar update, executive session if needed. Need one?
Maybe. I'll make a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to SDCL 125-2, what number? 3.
I guess I'll second it.
Oh, sorry.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. We are in at 6:33 PM.
Sorry, you have to go again.
Dave, why don't you stay in?
All right, we are out of executive session at 7 PM. Moving on, do we have anything else in regards to the bar update?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to get an appraisal on 101 East 2nd Street.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
One question.
Go ahead.
For the appraisal, do we want it on city-owned building and all property that's in it? Or just?
These just.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Oh, I first. Carrie, second.
Do we need anything else in regards to the bar update? If not, we're moving on to public safety, equipment discussion. This is inventory that is in the police station. Just so everyone is aware throughout the public, in the city, there is a notice of the dissolution of the police department of the city of Alcester, South Dakota. The city of Alcester, South Dakota resolved to disband the city police department in contract with Union County for law enforcement services as of January 22nd, 2024, at a city council meeting held January 4th, 2024. So, do we have anything on the equipment discussion? It's in your handout of inventory. We'll have to make a decision what we're going to do with it. Try to get somewhat of an appraisal in, sell it as inventory. There has been some interest in the pickup. If we'd like to, we have had it appraised, and so we could surplus it. I recommend if we surplus it, we buy a brand new 3/4 ton pickup for the city, just a regular cab, something work, base package, just because I do know the city pickup is getting tired, so that would be a way to get some of our expense back for all the police side of things and side of equipment.
So is this excluding what we're giving to them?
Yes, this,
This inventory list is a complete inventory list that the chief did at the end of the year.
so part, correct.
So some of this will be going to the county?
I don't know.
I think
So,
all they're giving is card.
The only thing
Oh, I
that,
thought they wanted everything in it.
yes, what is in the card, they get the card and
The
the
card
card.
is listed on here.
Correct.
So we would have to cross some of this.
Some of it, we would have to itemize this out for sure, but the county will get the card part of the 5-year contract. So, just so everyone is aware of that.
That's what the equipment in it, that's supposed
The camera, the speed, I mean,
So everything that's listed on here as in the charger would be crossed off, right?
so I mean, part of the contract as well is the county will be using our police station. So everyone is aware throughout the city, that's part of the agreement. They're going to use it as a north station for probation officers to come there and whatnot. I think this is going to be a win-win situation for the community and the rural area. This is going to attract an officer, deputy up here to help out the people that live 4 or 5 miles out of town. So I think, you know, there's been some kickbacks and feedback that I've gotten already on this. I think overall, this has been something that's been discussed for the last 20 years. I think it's going, I think Jared did a good job. Nothing against him, but it's very tough to get law enforcement officers right now. And with the county's proposal, I think it was a good opportunity that we could pass up. And I think the coverage we're going to get, we're going to take all the on-call. I think it's going to be a great deal. And moving forward, I hope we can build a good relationship. So.
I would like you to pass on to Jared, you know, I think for what he's done. And, he was in a difficult situation.
Yeah, it was.
So, does he have it, Jeff? No.
But, well, I think last time I talked, it sounded like he'll be able to get his old one back and running, so.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what he'll do. And he was getting frustrated too, to the point of like, you're getting guys with no experience at applying that want $90,000 a year. I mean, it's just, and that's what's happening in small towns all over.
That's all-
Like,
it's-
it's everywhere. I mean.
It was before he came, we had that problem. So-
Well, I mean, he's in the same boat Austin was in. I mean, Austin had Grayson for a while, but I mean, he did it himself for months too, and he was doing on-call.
Yeah.
There's no way, unless you have 2 full-timers that run the 2-minute department, is beneficial.
So, as the community, if they see the county sheriff driving around town, they will be giving the city a schedule. They will be patrolling the city throughout the week, and so that's the situation.
I have heard from a few people that are pretty pissed that the city, like the public didn't get to vote on it, which I'm not pleased.
You know, before, you know, we decided as a council, I did talk to different people and say, hey, what do you think about our public safety? What's your opinions? What's your thoughts about maybe possibly going to the county? I've had a lot of people really think that the county was a good idea, and so, you know, having a chief that lived an hour away was not real, you know, adequate, I was saying. So I would, to magnify this whole thing, we did have a lot of choices, you know, moving forward, so.
And a lot of places are going this direction because that's the.
That's the way it is, yeah.
And, you know, if anybody is upset about this, I wish they'd come to the council meetings and give us some support and ideas in between other topics that are being discussed, because, I mean, they don't understand our budget. Penny bank is only so big, so, I mean, moving forward, we can't afford a chief at $90,000 and then 2 more full-time guys at 55,000, and, I mean, it will not work, so. Anything else in regards to the public safety side of it?
For the notice, Austin, did you just look at it?
Yep, I did. I did notice this one.
Any particular place other than the paper that you want me to post this?
Any other place you'd like it besides the newspaper? One
Maybe on
on,
the door.
If you want.
I would just make sure to post it on the website if we have that ability, and also the city office.
We'll take care of it, Mark.
Great.
You put it on their Facebook page?
I don't have access to it.
I can send it to you, Lonnie, and get it posted.
Well, I mean,
On what
on the
else is
police
there?
themselves,
Oh.
after it's done, because that stuff got passed from Austin to Jared and now, so you can get that information before he's done to get into that.
Yep.
I'll ask him for it tomorrow.
Is he still here tomorrow?
He's here today. He's on right now.
Is there any way that he could look at this list and separate out what's all in the charger?
I already crossed off based on the locations, I don't know how accurate that is.
That's what I don't, just so that you have a complete list of what needs to be surplus.
I do not believe the weapons inside, whatever's inside the car. on that
Just the
side.
equipment, like the computers,
Correct.
that. So that's why I'm curious, cause some of it says like,
Yeah, I
the
got that.
flashlight gonna go to the county, like that kind of stuff.
And we don't have to be real, picky about little things,
No, I was just curious, cause if he crosses it off and then he surpluses and then we don't have it,
Right.
do we have to then purchase it to give it to them? I would just rather have an accurate list, so that.
We need to decide what we want to do with the police pickup as well, so I mean, if we'd like to surplus it, or if we'd like to keep it for the city. I think we'll get more money surplusing it, buying something back, that might be a little bit more feasible on the city side. We're at it, we need to pull a trailer and haul something heavy in the back.
Can you find a truck that you want? So that, I have no idea, I couldn't even tell you, is it
You know that
50,000, 60, I
guys
don't
that
know.
got the head of the tables are really good at finding good deals.
Or, yeah,
I might
somebody,
just let him do this one.
I don't know.
There you go, get shopping.
You got a little new pickup with no reverse, will that work? Well, that's still running though.
No Dodges. No Dodges.
I guess, can we have options to see what?
Absolutely, we had it appraised, I think it was about $23,000, came, $23,000 came back at without the equipment. If we get 50% of the value of the equipment, some of it's outdated by now, tractor $25,000, I think, to put the new equipment in is about $8,000 to $10,000, and so go 50% of that, average, we can do sealed bids on it, run in the newspaper. That's how.
No, I'm just saying if it goes for 25,000 and it's gone, what's a new pickup? That's what I have no idea.
Well, we would
No
necessarily get a
how-
brand new one.
Sorry, new to
There'll be,
us, like.
there'll be deals through car dealerships for municipal, Scotty County Fire Department, there's deals if you go that route.
You get like a base model, actual work truck, they're not outrageous.
No, they're not.
There's not a lot of options on them.
And they're discounted at, for the city, so. That's what I would recommend instead of buying somebody else's headache.
They have an old pickup they wanna get rid of in
The city?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we keep that, Lonnie, I mean, it's,
Well,
I'm
it's
just
got an oil leak under it that Carquest said is not worth fixing on this thing, which is slowly getting worse. The box is rusting out, the utility part, in between the things. And it makes, I don't know, it doesn't like to start very well. It's fine once it gets going, but
so in other words, we could surplus that, clean up some of the older stuff we do not need, and, get into something that will fit our needs better. So I think Lonnie and I will kind of look around and do some checking, but we'll have to surplus that pickup if that's what you'd like to do.
I
If
think
you
that
do-
sounds like the best way to go, because we really don't need a double cab either for the work truck for the city, correct, or would you prefer that?
depend, if we aren't gonna do a utility box on it, which I don't really care if we do a utility box, because those things just collect parts and tools and more stuff. I'd just soon put like a deck box in the back of it or something like that down the road. Or,
then you wouldn't need to extend a cab, but for a drill and stuff like that, it's gotta be enclosed somewhere. But we can live for now. We don't have to deck out the tools below either. Something we figure out now.
For
Something to think about. Anything else in regards to the public safety? If not, we're moving on. Number 14, finance office updates with Dave.
Yeah, just a couple quick updates with Banyan. Still got a few bugs to iron out, but it's progressing pretty well. Finalized getting the budget entered in, so it's gonna be nice. I'll be able to give each department a monthly update to where they're at according to what's budgeted. The process of vouchers and stuff has kind of changed a little bit with Banyan. When you enter a bill into the software, at the same time you do the voucher, you do the check. But there'll be a summary sheet of all the vouchers that were entered in that batch. So you can look at that and then the individual voucher. But it's definitely gonna smooth things out once we get these few last little things that are, we just need to change the way some of the things are coded with Banyan. And then payroll, now that it's all set up, it should be all set. We should be good to go with that. Starting next month, I believe, we're just about finished updating the utility billing software. The goal is to have that ready to go for February's billing. So we should be all set. Chris is working on finalizing, getting some of that information changed from the old system to into Banyan. So I think we should be good to go for the new billing for next month for that, so.
Now, haven't Dale stopped in and suggested that we?
That was the other thing I was gonna ask.
Okay.
Dale and Lonnie had both talked to me when it comes to the utility billing, asking if the council would be okay because of the weather and everything, if we would be okay just averaging the, water for at least for the month of February, instead of asking people to go out and walk, because it's pretty treacherous out there right now. They did do it last winter. I don't know what your policies and protocols were and all that stuff.
I was thinking a year or so ago, I had to go down for a month or two and read my own meter, get that information sent
Yeah.
into the city, so that's an option too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I can't remember how long we did it for. but-
You had the option of either calling in with your reading, or they would average your readings.
Well, how is it gonna work with the new software? Does that do it?
We're still waiting to hear that answer, because Centerville, who's our point of contact, they have automatic readers. So they don't have to worry about that piece.
But you can enter it in manually.
You can enter the numbers in manually.
I'm almost positive they said that you could.
You can, it's just, I mean, we would have to anyway, because we have to hand enter. So you can enter in manually, so if you guys are okay, I would like to ask that we could have either people call in at the end of the month with their meter reading, or if we don't hear from them by the first of the month, then we would use that average, their average usage for the billing for January. What's that?
I don't see why that would be a problem.
Because with all the snow and ice that's out there right now, it's just pretty treacherous. There's a couple of people.
We have to make a very public notice that we're gonna do that though, because you're gonna have one or two people like, oh, this is higher than it's.
Well, and I can put it in the newspaper, we can put it on Facebook, we can put notices up in
I think
town.
that's the safest way to do it right now.
I mean, if it was done last year, I don't think it's crazy to ask. Was it really done last
I
year?
wanted to clear it with
I
you guys.
remember going down and taking a picture when they found it.
I just wanted to clear it with you guys first before we went ahead with it, so.
Let's try and reach as many people as possible, because I was not aware that it happened last year, so.
Okay, well, we'll start putting those notices out tomorrow for that. Okay. Next, the Text My Gov proposal. After last meeting and throughout my time in this position, people have been asking for, some other way of notification. So Lonnie and I kind of reached out, and this Text My Gov system is a two-way alert system that we can text out alerts to the general public, and it's very customizable to literally any need you would want. We can set it up so Lonnie can text out a snow alert. He can text out, you can specify to this group of addresses that, hey, we're shutting your water off to these houses and it will only go to this block or this section of town. You can set it up for texting in orders to the clubhouse, to the restaurant. You can set it up for, they can text in potholes, dogs,
Chickens.
if they wanna report something like a sewer issue, then you can set it up so that alert would go to Lonnie and Dale and somebody else. So you always have multiple people getting that message in and they can report a sewer issue. So we won't have a problem like we've had in the past. And you can specify it even more out to golf members, whether it be anybody that comes and golfs at Alcester Golf Course, the specific golf leagues. So it's very user-friendly, it's very customizable, relatively inexpensive compared to what I expected. We start off with 10,000 text messages, which initially Lonnie and I were thinking, yeah, that's not a problem. But every time one of us would send a message out to the town, that's one text message to every single number you send out. So that 10,000 messages could be eaten up pretty quick. But if you raise it up to the next level of 25,000 text messages, it's an extra $300. So they always start you out at the base level and then you can kind of go from there. On the back end, we can set it up, for notifications when people would text in, however we would want to customize that. If, the head of the Water and Street Committee would want to be the person that would get notified if somebody would text in a sewer alert. If you wanted it to go to Dale, Lonnie, and the head of that committee, so you're aware of issues going on as well, you can set it up that way and you can change it however often you would like. And it's very simple, it's a QR code or you text in a short code number. Anybody can sign up for it. The city of Harrisburg uses it. I did hear from their finance officer today and they absolutely love it. She said it has made their calls into the offices and complaints a lot lower. And it's a lot easier for them to push that stuff out than trying to get everything on the website and on their Facebook pages and everything else. It's just a one-time, they still do those other things, but they can send that message out and they know everybody that signed up for the city of Harrisburg has gotten that message.
And they had a link on the webpage,
Yep.
so they can get it on there too, get this.
And you can set this up to do different groups of push notifications. So like if you're just interested in golf in Ulster, you can sign up to a whole separate deal there where you aren't getting our snow alerts or this and that. And it's itemized out like that, so they'll save text messages, because that place isn't gonna text as many as we are here. But you can do a lot. And they say it was kind of endless on that.
Yeah, it's unlimited to how you can group it. So I mean, if you can think of a group of people that you want to have a message group for, whether it be, fire department, anything, it's unlimited the number of different individual groups that you can set it up for on the back end on our side.
So our question was budget-wise, as we had talked about this, because it really, I guess we're not worried about police, but we've got community center, we've got golf, we've got finance officer, we have streets, we have sewer. Couldn't each budget be a part of this?
Divided up.
Yeah.
Because it's not tied in to, just to help pay for it, so it doesn't come all out of the finance office budget.
Yes, it can be broken down into any line item that you want it to.
That's, I said I thought it I don't know. What do you think?
Not in Banyan, it shouldn't be.
It'll take me 2 minutes to do it that road.
If you did it through QuickBooks, yes, it would probably take 15, 20 minutes, but through Banyan, it's
It'll
very.
be one line item entry per budget, per budget breakdown. It's just gonna.
Yeah, it's basically like the whole dollar amount, you add where you want it to come from, it self-divides and writes the check or whatever. But yeah, I mean, yes, it could be, does that mean that we have money for it right now? No, but, I mean, it could be looked at, it's not a huge dollar amount.
The other option that I brought up to Darla when we were talking about it is in the finance office, but, and I'm still learning as well, is the finance office budget, there are a couple of things that are not getting used. That we could, I don't know how that works, if we can use it for that instead.
Depends what it's coded as, 'cause you can't take money from one to put it into another. But if it's within that office, you should be able to make it work. But I can look at it with you and we can figure out, if this can wait till the next meeting to vote on. I can have a definite answer.
Because I didn't understand budget, so that's why.
I would not confidently vote on this right now to say yes, because I do not know where the money will come from. So if we voted today, I would say no, just because I do not know where it's going to come from confidently. And I wouldn't want to mess up any department's budget.
Well, let's just table it then until we can check into it and we'll decide next time. That work?
Next, the performance reviews, I'm catching up, and, the only one that's annual performance review that's due right now is Paige at the library. And I did let her know, it looks like Julia, Darla, Kendra are on the library committee.
I could maybe, you guys work in the day, maybe I could just go do it Monday. She work afternoons,
She just comes in early afternoon.
maybe next week or something.
If you're available, I would appreciate that, but if not, I can.
Because I mean, her job, I don't know her job. I mean,
I have
so
no idea what
it's-
she even does, but the library seems to be running, so.
So, I'll have to just look at it a little bit.
I think, just ask her, how she feels of each, like what can we do to help more.
I mean, I feel maybe I'll even talk to somebody on the library board or something, but any ideas they have?
I think she does a good job of communicating with the office when things are needed or questions are got.
I'll maybe stop in and get a form, I'm not sure. I'll do that.
Thank you for adding that to the agenda as well.
And then the other couple of things, just a reminder that the first day to circulate election petitions is January 26th. I do have some petitions if you are interested. And then just a reminder for people to make sure that they're cleaning their sidewalks. And then the next city council meeting is February 6th. 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Dave. Anything else in regards to what was discussed, or reminders or updates that we missed out?
Aren't you looking into some other kind of, readers?
Yeah, I was gonna have, there was, Core in Maine was another option that had been looked at several years ago at the same time that this last guy was, he was here 2 weeks ago. They were going to come tonight, but because of the snow that Nebraska had last week, one of the guys that was gonna come to this meeting was unable to make it. So they are going to plan on being here on the February 6th meeting to present their option for the meters. I think their option was a drive-by read, right, Lonnie?
Yep, it's a drive-by system that actually Beersford uses this.
So if those readers are in the back of the house, or side of the house, you just drive by in the front and still gets it?
It's a radio network, yeah, it'll grab it from blocks away. But you purposely do drive every street to make sure you catch them all. But This
So,
system
yeah.
here, they have ones that will just actually go right over our current reader. So you wouldn't have to change all the meters.
The readers
We'll let
outside.
them talk about that, I don't wanna put words in their mouth.
So they'll be here, I'm gonna reconfirm with them next week, but they were scheduled to be here on the February 6th meeting to present their
Actually, it
information.
was cheaper, now you're talking about driving up and down the street, get that information.
But is it a Band-Aid fix to just cover up something that we're gonna have to change anyway? Because meters only last a couple of years.
Well, let's
Right
let
now-
them,
Yeah.
explain their deal before we get too
That's why I was curious.
decisive about it.
Clarification on that though, right now, if a meter goes bad, is it the homeowners?
Lonnie, you put new ones in, don't you?
In census, yeah, we actually have a bunch of their meters in this Core in Maine. Newer.
Sorry, she asked if somebody's like, something happened.
Meter goes bad, do we pay to replace?
You contract with somebody to put a new one in, right? And then they pay the city?
If the meter goes bad, we will deal with them time to time. Usually at that point, you know, if they've got water in their basement and stuff like that, obviously they let it freeze and then we're in there. But, yeah, that's typically the only time we're switching the meter out unless there's a major billing error going on. And that's the other time.
Who pays for the new meter though, I guess is what I.
The homeowner.
The
that's-
homeowner,
To
okay.
the city, yeah.
Right, okay. That's
What
what I
are
wanna
they?
make sure.
300?
250, if I remember in the budget last year.
But that other company, the census meters we've been putting in since I've started working here.
Gotcha.
The newer plastic ones, that's this company, so. So there's quite a few of these out there already that aren't close to 1 million gallons.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anything after the curb stop, the city's curb stop going onto your own property would be your responsibility.
Right, I just wanna make sure she doesn't found it being a Band-Aid fix, but I guess if this homeowner's responsible for it anyway, it wouldn't really matter what order they do or don't get it.
That-
Might
I
be an
guess
option.
That's a good discussion for another meeting. Should we be touching these meters?
Try it.
And we can go try to shut the curb stop off or help them shut the valve off or whatever. But, really, maybe we shouldn't be touching them because they aren't really ours, so.
Right.
Just a thought. I hate to be that way, but just something I talked about in the last meeting about not touching these meters, so.
Nope, sounds good. Anything else in regards to updates, reminders, or just information we need to talk about? If not, do we need an executive session?
So if anybody needs, okay, we got the bar and we got the police station. So you'll have to let us know, Dave, if we have to help do anything at the end of the month. And I don't know, but we, you know, like go down and help look through things at the police department, you know what I mean?
But I haven't heard, and maybe Austin knows, but when the police department changes over to the sheriff's department, Jared, as the chief of police, is gonna have to hand off the station because there's evidence, because there's chain of evidence stuff. So that piece is gonna have to be done before we can go in there. So I have not heard from Dan, and I'm waiting to hear from them how they want to do that handoff. But that starts next week, so that's next Monday. And then after this council would do their inventory with the current bar lessees, then we'll have to just figure out what the next
Because
step
we're
is
gonna have
with all of that
utility
stuff.
bills from the bar, too. I just don't want to shut that down. I just know someone that
Yeah.
happened to out at Black Hills just today, my nephew, their whole trailer is froze out.
Because there's things with the utilities, with the police equipment, the Verizon, their wireless systems that they have in the cars that I have to shut off as of next week. So I have a running list of things between the two that I'll have to get working on after that stuff happens.
Sounds great. Anything else? If not, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn, council.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. We adjourn at 7:31 PM.
Hey, that's pretty good.